No one really knows how it started. Some say it was after the first industrial revolution of 1840. Others after the awakening of 2030. Some say it was when fracking took over as our main energy supply, or it started with the unlifting smogs that stole the sun from us. No one really knows. What we do know is that our world, our precious grey wall of life, has been slowing for centuries. At first, it was a bit of fun. Our leap day only happening once every 6, 10, 18 years. Now, every 57 years. The novelty has worn off, the fun has gone, and the reality has hit. Many of us will not live to see 10 birthdays in our lifetime. Our days now last weeks, and our weeks are stretching into years. Time no longer has any meaning. We know that we are the last people to walk this earth. The slowing is not going to stop. Our planet is dying. And we need to accept that this is our Earth's last winter.
But we're going to be okay, right? Just come back, son, because we need you. Every time you rise, it gives us a new chance, a new beginning.
The world is slow. It's official.
Recent scientific evidence suggests the planet is slowing down. Days are getting longer and longer.
Recent scientific evidence suggests the planet is slowing by up to an hour a day.
Of sunlight today. UV warnings have been released across the country.
Days have been getting longer and
It's
longer.
thought that the slowing is playing our health service is being overrun by patients suffering from heat stroke, dehydration, and skin melanomas. The Earth's decrease in rotational speed is now being commonly referred to as
Slowing is man-made.
The Earth's decrease in rotational speed is now being commonly referred to as planetary sees massive change.
Our health service is being overrun by patients suffering from heat stroke.
Religion seems to be making a comeback.
Hundreds of people are searching for answers, and religion is giving it to them.
Some worshippers have taken over. It is thought around half a million people will be celebrating sunset ceremony, I'm told, for at least the next 40 hours.
We're celebrating sunset
We'll be
this evening.
celebrating the sunset.
The last sunset, we are told, for at least the next 40 hours.
Lights! Come on, we need to move.
My eyes! Lights at 25%.
We don't have time for this. Lights 100%.
Seriously, our eyes! Lights 50%. Is that okay?
Whatever, just get your stuff, let's go.
What if we don't want to go?
Yeah, well, there's no choice, I'm afraid. Mum said we have to, so pack your bags. Have you got your lunch?
I don't want to go.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be lumbered with you two. We can't all have what we want. Now, come on.
No.
I don't have time for your stupid games. School starts in 30 minutes.
We're going on strike.
You can't be on strike.
Yes, we can. Yes, we will.
Yes, we are. On strike, that is.
What are you even striking about?
The fact that it's the middle of the night.
Well, it's not. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Since when it's 8:30 in the morning and pitch black outside?
It's not that bad.
So why are the lights on?
Finally, I can see.
According to Sean, we shouldn't be going to school until sun rises.
That's not for another 18 hours.
Ha! Exactly!
Sean is a nut job. I mean, who in their right mind thinks they can spend 24 hours at home because It's dark.
I do.
No, you don't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, I do.
Look, I refuse to have a slow cooker as my brother. I'm sorry.
That's really offensive.
No, it's not.
I'm offended.
They're not slow clockers, they're real timers.
This is delaying tactics. Come on, we need to go.
It's within my right to follow the laws of nature.
Yeah, well, there's nothing natural about any of this.
The world is slowing.
It's slowing for a reason.
It's telling us to slow down.
It's Mother Nature giving us a chance to reevaluate our decisions.
You two, you're full of crap. Come on. Let's get your bags. Go.
Okay. I just don't want to go.
Yeah, I know.
Don't you think it's silly? Us going to school at night?
It's not night just because the sun hasn't come up.
Each day is up to 40 hours long now. How long can this last?
He's got a point.
The power grids are at a breaking point. There is no solar power. We're solely relying on fracking, and tell me how all that's going. Sticking kids in schools with light and heating on constantly. Opening offices where the only source of light is reliant on electricity makes no sense.
We don't make the rules.
No, but we don't have to follow them.
The world needs power, yet its batteries are empty. And instead of staying at home, conserving power, we're heading out into pitch black, demanding more.
Your Mum said that we should.
Mum said.
What if we don't? What if we decide to make a difference? Light off.
Lights on. I'm sorry, we don't make the rules. Let's go.
really knows how it started. The slowing. There are a lot of conspiracy theories. There always have been. What I know is that we only have ourselves to blame. In the late 1800s, plastic was invented as an alternative for ivory. John Wesley Hyatt invented it after seeing an article in the national paper offering $10,000 to anyone who could create an alternative for the use of ivory in billiards. His invention was incredible. For the first time in history, human manufacturing was not constricted by the limits of nature. The planet can only make so much wood, stone, metal, bone, tusk and horn. Now, humans can make new materials, stronger, more durable materials, that can not only help people, but also the environment.
Following the Second World War, plastic manufacturing increased and it kick-started the world's recovery. But within 60 years, the weight of plastic outweighed the weight of humanity. And the disposal of plastic became a world issue. Recycling centres were built so that the richest of countries could farm their plastic overseas for others to bury, burn or recycle. Until the World Plastic Prevention Council put a stop to it in 2050. They introduced a tax levy for countries to pay for the disposal of all of their plastic. But their power lay in their words and not in their ability to enforce their rules. Country after country began dumping their plastic illegally into the waters that flow through over their borders. Even landlocked countries began dumping their plastic into the rivers that flowed through over their borders. Meanwhile, our oceans filled with bags, bottles, food wrappers, face masks, and straws.
We had always been told it would disintegrate in 500 years. What we weren't told was how it would disintegrate. The indestructible material that we had all applauded when first created now began to poison our waters and kill our wildlife. By 2079, plastic pollution in our oceans was so bad you could no longer even see the water. In 2210, Sir Clive Hoffman became the first human to walk from England to America on a stretch of plastic pathway measuring more than 4,000 miles. The sheer weight of plastic stopped our oceans from moving. Blocking the daylight, it starved the ocean beds of life. Plastic pollution stopped our seas and oceans from doing their job. With no light and no tide, our seas died. As the planet slowed, the moon lost its connection with us and slowly began to move away. Our closest neighbour, our guardian for billions of years, gave up on us.
We should have known better. We should have made a difference earlier, but we all waited for somebody else to make a change. There are a lot of conspiracy theories out there.
But this is the truth.
The weight of plastic is to blame for the slowing.
and be black. But anything to the house and we'll take it up. Save you the journey.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Well, do you have any letters for us?
Yeah.
Can we have them?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're alright.
Yeah, you don't look so good. Do you want to come in and have a cup?
No! I mean, no. Thank you.
It's honestly bothering you.
It's just, I've never seen you before.
Okay. Well, I'm Abby, and this is Evan, my brother. Crap. That looks interesting.
Is that mine?
No, mine, but you can have this piece of junk mail.
What's it like being like you?
What do you mean, like you?
I mean, a slow clocker. Don't you feel like, have you no pride in yourselves?
Excuse me?
You're a disgrace.
A disgrace.
Why can't you just be like everyone else? You should be up and working like everyone else.
It's the middle of the night.
It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Tell that to the torch in your hand, you muppet.
I'm not the one breaking the law.
Look, mate, we haven't broken any laws. We're just choosing to live by the world clock, not some old-fashioned way of living.
You have. It says right there in your hand.
What? It is imperative that we stand strong and united, blah blah, and that is why, as of 12 noon on Friday the 5th, all citizens will, by law, be forced to live by Greenwich Mean Time. Any real timers or slow clockers, as they've been referred to, will be punished.
See, I told you.
As a country, we must stand united, and that is why we ask that any time deviance be reported for this immoral behaviour.
See, it's immoral. You're immoral.
You're immoral, you're taught. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, we're just choosing a different path.
It's wrong. It's unnatural.
You're a naturalist.
You need to go.
Don't worry. I'm going, freaks.
Freaks. But at least we're not a twat.
Well, that went well.
Sorry.
Let's get dressed.
And then,
Then we go to work.
look, the sun doesn't rise for another 10 hours.
I know.
Something seems to be having an effect on the planet's temperature.
As temperatures soar,
As
the
temperatures
poorest
soar,
will suffer.
people are being
Stay calm. There is enough room for everyone who is eligible if we just take our time. You will all need to be processed and details will have to be taken. So have your papers ready. Please stop or people get hurt. Please, you have to help my parents now. We need to be allowed to stay. We have nowhere else to go. Where are they? They're right here. But they were right here! Unless you're together, I cannot help. Mom! Dad! Yes,
Please help me.
papers.
Here, we've been travelling for days.
Spain. You're from Spain.
Yes.
But the temperature's there.
The south is now a desert. We have no way of going across.
But Spain isn't on the list of countries we accept yet.
Please.
You know the rules. We're only accepting residents from 35 degrees latitude and under. You're 36. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Next!
Please, we seek sanctuary.
Papers.
We've traveled for months, day and night.
Day and night don't mean much anymore.
What's wrong with our papers?
Where have you travelled from?
Kenya.
been working there for the past Earth year.
How long have you been there in human years?
7.5 years.
But nobody has been living there. Not since the slowing.
People are there. They live in caves or underground away from the sun. During sundown, the Earth is cool. They venture up to the surface.
What were you doing there?
We helped heal the sick until we ourselves became sick.
Sick. What's wrong with you?
We have developed cancer.
What type of cancer?
Must have said.
If you expect to be allowed in,
Skin cancer. It covers our face, head, and body.
show me.
Are you sure?
Show me. We need medics here! Now!
Nobody really knows how it started, the slowing. There are lots of conspiracy theories. There always have been. What I know is that we have only ourselves to blame.
Since the dawn of man and their discovery of fire, we have polluted the environment by burning fossil fuels and destroyed the very thing that's made it possible to live on this planet: trees. Whether it was cutting them down to make our homes, clearing them for our farming, or burning them for heat, the decline in the world's tree population cannot be underplayed. Nor can the role that they have played in turning our world inside out.
A simple science lesson can teach us that trees absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the atmosphere. What they didn't tell us at school was that when carbon was absorbed by trees, it wasn't fully dealt with. They were stored in huge carbon banks dotted across the world, ready for us to withdraw at a huge cost.
Since the first industrial revolution kick-started in the 1800s, huge swathes of woodlands and forests were cleared for factories and homes.
But businesses needed a better fuel, a longer-lasting fuel: coal. We dug deep into our earth, scarring the landscape and devouring its natural resources, along with its natural beauty. But coal is formed when dead plant matter, the plants that have sucked up the world's carbon, are submerged in the earth and subjected to the geological pressures of heat and force over hundreds of millions of years. The long-term investment of carbon. Climate
Have you seen him? Have you seen what he's doing now?
No, and we have no wish to. Some of us have got homework to do.
Sod homework? He's mowing the lawn naked!
No, he's not.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. Oh my
I
god!
told you, naked!
What's wrong with him?
Why must there be anything wrong with him?
Because he's mowing the lawn naked.
So,
That's not normal behaviour.
Simi over the road said that they saw him painting the tree in his garden the other day.
Why?
I don't know. Simi just says he was standing there, staring into space, painting the tree in the same spot. There was paint all over the floor.
Mental.
I know. The police had to come to take him back inside. Simi says that when the police found him, the paint can was empty and his hand was covered in all these blisters from holding that paintbrush. Simi says he was lucky not to lose his hand.
Why would Simi lose his hand?
No, not Simi, that bloke.
Simi seems like he has a lot to say.
Well, his dad's a member of the neighbourhood watch, so he should know.
Do you reckon it's because he's a slow clocker?
He can't be. It's illegal. The police would have discovered that when they came to see him.
Simi reckons he's leading a double life.
Come off it. They would have checked his papers.
Well, Simi says they didn't have it.
Enough about Simi, all right? Can you just come away from the window?
I was just saying.
Enough!
Bloody hell! He's mowing the pavement now!
He's not.
Out my way. Let me see.
Oh.
What's wrong with him?
That's totally inappropriate then, isn't it?
How else would you explain it?
I don't know. Look. He's not functioning right.
Look at his eyes. He isn't even blinking or anything. Man's got shark eyes.
Yeah, Simi reckons he's becoming a zombie.
What have I just said about Simi?
I reckon he's becoming a zombie.
He's not a zombie. He's knackered.
You mean naked?
No.
Look at his...
No, I mean knackered. He's exhausted. I mean, how long's the sun been up?
Nearly 58 hours.
Exactly.
You mean he's been awake for nearly 60 hours?
Poor bloke.
Why doesn't he just sleep? Oi! Go to bed!
Ow, you idiot! He can't hear you. He's half asleep.
No, he's mowing the pavement naked.
No, look at his face. He's not functioning right.
Well, you can say that again.
Look, we're not designed to be awake for this long.
Why does he just go to bed?
I don't know. There could be loads of reasons. Some say it's unnatural to sleep during the daylight. Others say it's the will of God. Or some just can't sleep whilst it's light outside.
Simi says, I've got this mate, right, who says it's the magnets messing up, and as the planet is, like, slowing, it's making all the magnetic forces skew in, and it's messing with people's brains.
Simi might actually be right about that one. Right, I'm going to help him.
What? Why?
Because obviously he's not well, and us staring at him through the window isn't going to help. Now, pass me a blanket.
Yeah, but what if he's a zombie?
Yeah, well, he's not.
What if he is? What if he attacks you? Ah!
Oh! Luckily, I've got some experience with dealing with 2 brain-dead zombies already. I'll be fine.
Oh my god, wait till Simi hears about this. Come on.
Out of my friends, I think, well, no, I know I'm the only one to have seen it. I tried to tell them about it, but none of them believed me. You see, my mum, she was always travelling, and I'd go with her. I've lost count of the number of countries I've been to, the amount of languages I know how to say please and thank you in.
If you can say please and thank you, you can live anywhere,
is what she would say. Looking back, I don't think I realised quite how different my life was to others. I thought everyone lived the same as me. When you're 7, you do. If I'm honest, I don't really know what my mum did for a job. I just know she worked for the government, and that's how we could still access the planes, even after airport closures and travel bans. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I can't have been much older than 7 or 8 maybe, and I was sat with my favourite doll on my lap. And my mum looked over and told me to put my seatbelt on. And as I did, I must have knocked Fifi, my favourite doll, off my lap and onto the floor. And I tried to reach for her, but I couldn't. And I began to panic as the plane started to run into action and began to take off.
Mum took my hand and she said,
It's fine. Leave her there and look out the window with me.
as I looked through the perspex screen, the dark grey smog began to lift, and the brightest of lights hit my face.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I watched as we crept through the clouds, sweeping over the thick carbon. The sun hit my face, a silence in vision. Oh, there the noise! The hustle and bustle from below is irrelevant. The tranquility was deafening. I didn't realize it then, but that is where I belonged.
This is what people used to see all day long.
I let the sun fill me with everything it had, and the only time I blinked was to clear tears from my eyes. I watched as we swept over the carbon and crept through the clouds, and when I closed my eyes, I can still see it now.
Remember this moment. Oh, and don't forget Fifi.
I also remember the pain as we took descent and ripped through the umbrella of smoke once more. The next day, a total ban was put on plane travel due to the dangers associated with flying in such polluted skies. And so, as it turns out, I'm one of the last people to ever see the sun. And it was beautiful.
No one really knows how it started, the slowing. There are lots of conspiracy theories, there always have been, but what I know is we only have ourselves to blame.
The digital era brought with it the power of advertising. For the first time, huge corporations had insight into what people were thinking and their buying habits. The mobile phone ceased to be a communications device and instead became a shopping basket for the deadliest and most calculating companies. Images were altered and celebrities prospered from stating that they used a certain brand of toothpaste or wore a certain brand of clothing. Historians suggest that the general population knew they were lying, yet continued to follow them in this perpetual lie.
Governments encouraged people to spend more and more. Wars broke out as business ventures were identified, targeted, and eventually seized by force. Countries were praised for increasing their annual GDP, and this was used as a measure for good. According to statisticians, how much a country spent on products and services per year determined whether a population was happy and healthy. And in the 22nd century, internet organizations paid rewards to the top 10 GDP paying countries. A reward for a nation in debt.
Consumerism itself didn't start the slowing, but its effects did. Land was cleared for farming as our thirst for meat continued unchallenged. Recycling centres were overrun with plastic packaging, and as fashion became fast fashion, clothes were made from cheap, man-made fibres. Years later, and it's still there, dormant beneath our feet in landfill.
Consumerism was a drug that fed the population. As humanity grew in size, so did its desire for space, spreading further across the continents like a disease. As life became more complicated, the throwaway society grew. Energy demand went through the roof, and the Earth's resources dried up.
Looking back, it was obvious. We took the world for granted, and now it's repaying us. When a book crawls on your hand, it's fun. But when that book stings, you kill it. The slowing is the Earth's way of killing us.
There are lots
our days stretch, the government is encouraging any real-timers, or slow clockers as they are also called,
to abide by clock time.
And not the sun. Scientists suggest
break
all records today.
Today the sun will be visible for a total of 67
hours. Please stay indoors and drink plenty of fluids. As we enter the world's longest day,
Please stay indoors and drink plenty of fluids.
politicians have been pleading for those obeying real time to act carefully and take preventative measures, as our hospitals expect record high levels of patients
suffering from sun sickness.
Is this where you live? Is that why you're mowing their lawn? I'm not going to tell on you. I could help you inside. I could make you a cup of tea. Total nutjob.
What did I say? Mental.
Shut up! Go back inside.
No way we're gonna miss this.
Look at his eyes. Total shark.
Leave him alone. If you're going to stay there, just stand there and shut up. All right. Look, mate, I don't know if you can hear me, but I sat in the middle of the road, naked. I'm going to come a bit closer, help you inside.
Oh, careful!
What did I just say? Shh! It's the will of the earth. Our punishment and our penance. We have forgotten how great our planet is. The sun god lies on high and his power is immense. He sees what we have become and what we have done to his paradise. This is the end of the world. No more can we do what we have. This is the time for you to say goodbye, for we all shall return to the dust that we came from. You will cease to exist. You need to say goodbye. You need to repent. Repent! 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 This is the end of the world and you all need to repent! Repent! Repent!
Are you alright?
Fine, just hurt my...
I was right.
About what?
Men. Told! Did you see me? I was like a ninja. I totally had your back.
Oh yeah?
Totally, you saw me.
What did he mean by this is the end of days?
He was mental. Why you listen to him?
Evans is right, he was mental, just ignore him.
Now is the time to repent. Soon we will all become the dust you hatched from, is what they said.
Look, why don't we go inside?
No, he's telling the truth, isn't he? This is the end of the world. No, this is the end of days. The sun is staying higher in the sky. The books at school say so. They say we only used to get a few hours, 12 max each day, and now we see it for weeks at a time. Why?
Dunno.
Of course you do. We all do.
The world, it's a complicated place, and space is a complicated place.
The sun god will rise on high and bare his teeth. Oh my God, he was telling the truth. We're gonna die.
No, stop it. Just sit down. We're all going to die eventually. Yes.
What?
Well, but not today.
We're going to die?
Yes, but probably not today.
I want a sausage. If I'm gonna die, I want to eat a sausage. I'll call it my last meal. I cannot remember the last time I had one, and now I'm hungry.
You can have a sausage, I'll get you one.
Cheeseburger. What? If she's having a sausage, I want to die eating a cheeseburger.
We're not gonna die.
You just heard what they said.
Look, the man was mowing the pavement naked. I'm not too sure he's the right person to be taking advice from.
Yeah, but what if he was right? The sun is going down, and it may never come back.
It will.
There's still so much I want to do, so much I haven't done.
Get drunk.
Drive a car.
Swim in the sea.
Get a tattoo.
Get a girlfriend.
Oh my God, have sex.
Stop it.
Set something on fire.
Right, I flash someone.
Mow the bloody lawn naked.
Stop it.
The world's not gonna die. We're gonna be fine. He was just a crazy man who had some crazy dreams, so just forget it. We're gonna be okay. The world's gonna be okay. Now get back inside before Mum comes back. We're going to be okay, right? Just come back, son, because we need you. Every time you rise, it gives us a new chance, a new beginning.
I love the theatre. An auditorium can whisk you away to far-off lands and allow you to glimpse into other people's lives. You witness love, death, and even dream of dystopian futures, knowing full well that at the end you can return to your seat unharmed by the events that unfolded before you. In theatre, we have the power of possibility. Tonight, we have taken full advantage of that power and have performed a dystopian fiction. An imagined world where our precious planet has reached breaking point. However, our tale wasn't too far from the truth. In 2019, the weight of plastic outweighed the weight of humanity. As humans, we know that when our time on Earth is up, we turn to dust. Plastic. Plastic doesn't. It breaks down, pollutes our waterways, and destroys our natural habitat, as well as the animals that rely so heavily upon it. Plastic can be found throughout the world. It is a cancer upon this Earth. But it's not just plastic. 6 million people a year die prematurely because of air pollution. Asthma diagnoses are on the rise, and in some parts of the world, face masks were a necessity long before the pandemic. Carbon levels are on the rise. Sea temperatures are on the rise. Extreme weather occurrences are on the rise. Our house is on fire. And yet we continue to fan the flames. We have been failed by governments as they put off till tomorrow what could be done today. But we are soon running out of tomorrows. I'm not here to lecture you, nor am I to say I have the answers. But I am here to ask, what can I do to stop the rot? The answer, nothing. This issue is bigger than you or I. Alone and isolated, we can do nothing. But together we can make a difference. Whether it's boycotting single-use plastics, recycling correctly, walking instead of driving, it doesn't matter how small an effort you make, as long as you make it every single day, because it does make a difference. If one person whispers, it's hard to hear. But if everybody shouts, it's deafening! This is the greatest gift theatre can give you. The power of possibility. So don't sit on your hands waiting for someone to tell you what to do. Be the difference you want to see, because we only have one planet. And it is beautiful.